Hi friends, in 2020, my late husband Phil and I moved from the United States to the Pacific coast of Mexico in the state of Oaxaca. God surprised us with some amazing opportunities while we were there to work with a group of church planters, to move into a Mexican neighborhood, and to teach English to over 40 children, shutting down our street every week. During that time, one of our friends, Pastor Willie, took us to see his family in a village high up in the Sierra Madre Mountains. It was a precarious trip in a Jeep. Sometimes I felt like half of our wheels were hanging over the side and the other half were on the road. It was a wonderful experience to see jungle life, to see a small village that reminded me of, probably the same type of lifestyle 50, 60 years ago. Nothing has really changed there. And to see how they grow corn and coffee and bananas and mangoes, all on very steep hillsides. And then to learn of the interesting animals like the coyotes, which are a Mexican raccoon, and the jaguars, which roam the jungle, and boa constrictors, all kinds of exciting things, and living off the land and close to the land. It was that experience with Pastor Willie and his family that gave me the backdrop for the story, The Jaguar, the Shepherd, and the Candy Cane. As a children's pastor in the United States, I had used the candy cane story, the traditional one where the children go to the candy shop and the man tells us the story of the candy cane. But I knew that these children needed something a little more exciting and more, adapted to a way of life that they're familiar with. And so the Lord just downloaded that story to me for our English class. Last year, Phil and I felt led to turn that story into an ebook that we could distribute to churches in Mexico, that they could give to their children in their church free of charge and share the candy cane story and the story of Jesus' sacrifice for us. We contacted Damien, who was the brother of one of the girls in our English class and a very talented young artist. And we asked Damien to bring the story to life. We began working on the project with him, and then God decided it was time for Phil to go home to heaven, so the project was paused. But it remained passionate in my heart to finish this and get it out to the children in Mexico. So I'm asking you, if you like the story, if you like the concept, if you have a burden for children and their families to know Jesus, if you know someone who only speaks Spanish and they need to hear the gospel, first of all, pray for our collaborators. We have Damien, our illustrator, Nico is a narrator, and Marta did the translation from English to Spanish. We have people doing the tech work. We have lots of moving parts that have to come together to make this a reality. So pray for those who will receive the book and all those who are involved in the process. And then if you feel led by the Lord to give to this project, any amount helps. And all the funds go to the people in Mexico who have been a part of this project. And to buy candy canes to send to the churches and little cards so that the children can see how to access the ebook with a QR code. So ebooks are very popular in the town that we lived in because it's so humid that paper books get moldy and, they don't last very long. But everyone has a phone, and cellular service is very affordable there because of COVID. And so an ebook is a great way to reach the people there. So thank you for listening. Thank you for praying, and thank you for giving. God bless you, and Merry Christmas.